What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Spatials. My name is Splattercat, and as always, I'm happy to have you here as we hang out at our colony and attempt to make it a little bit more efficient day by day. For right now, the problem of the day. So I'm going to try and keep an eye on a problem of the day for our colony every single time that we play, and you'll forgive me as I fidget around in my seat right here. I get randomly uncomfortable mid-episode, and every single time it makes me draw my mouth away from the microphone, and then I gotta like stop talking about fun stuff. So for right now, the things that we are a little bit low on, everything seems to be holding steady with the exclusion of aluminum. Now, the plus side to the aluminum shortage is that this is actually like something that I have the resources to fix. And so if we go back to the previous galaxy, I think we have a whole lot of untapped aluminum in here somewhere. Let's see. I bet it's in either Subtercell. A Trotro is probably the better plan, though, considering we already have ambassadors here. So let's go in, and on Urtek, we're going to get started. Did I never capture this? Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, what about this one? There we go, that'll work. I've got cash right now. I've got that dosh, that paper, those credits, that nuyen, those deets, whatever you need. I mean, it's all good. Deets isn't what I wanted. Those chits, there we go. Chits and deets. For whatever reason, I got that crossed in my head. Oh my god, I had guacamole last night. Seriously, I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the channel, but guacamole is like one of my greatest, hugest weaknesses. If you ever want to defeat Splattercat, or if there's ever like a series about me being defeated in some great battle, it'll be more than likely due to the fact that I abandoned my post in an aggressive effort to get some guacamole. I went out last night because this week has been really, really good for the Nerd Castle, and so I went out with my family last night, and I celebrated, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm really, really glad that, you know, I have a good relationship with my family. When I was younger, when I was a kid, I had a really, really bad relationship with my family because I was constantly getting in trouble. And then I think that just like me and my mom were too much alike. And when you're alike somebody else, you don't get along. Like, you know what I mean. Anyways, as an adult, we've kind of like buried the hatchet and we have like a good relationship now. And I don't know what your situation is, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I started thinking about it when Christmas came around. And it's just, if you have access to your family, it seems like such a minor thing to just like maybe not even apologize, just maybe try and bury the hatchet. I know there's some people you can't do that with. I have a couple friends whose parents are just like, yeah, I don't know if I could bury the hatchet anywhere but in their back. I'm gonna be real honest with you right now. I understand why you're upset, but I'm glad that like in my later life, or my middle life, or whatever the hell you would call being like 28. Anyways, in the middle somewhere, I'm glad that I was able to like make amends and sort of like make up with my family. Now we have like an amazing, nice, friendly relationship where we hang out a lot, and you know, sometimes I just go over to my parents' house and we just like play a board game or something, you know, even though it doesn't happen like every other day, but at the same time it's nice to have a relationship, especially considering the fact that I didn't have one, so I know exactly what that feels like. Let's go back in and over here. Luckily it was my fault, so I was in control of the situation to the point where I could fix it, you know. Like, some people have bad relationships with family members or whatever, and it's like not their fault, and so there's no way for them to fix it. It's kind of the other person's responsibility to fix it. But in my case, it was squarely my fault, so luckily, one thing led to another. One brick stacked on mortar, and then the next one came along, and then the next one came along. I'm going to grenade you guys, because you are really, really hurting me right now, and this is a brand new shirt, and I can't get laser burns on a new shirt right now. The Nerd Castle's just been exploding lately, and it's had like this weird side effect where I've been getting inside my own head lately and just being like, oh my god, like I'm starting to actually envision the fact that there's 100,000 people watching, and this is the worst mistake I have ever made in the history of video creation. And so now I just try and put it to the back of my mind and play games and just not think about it. But it's kind of like one of those surreal moments. It's like becoming aware of your breathing, and then you're just like, oh man, and so now you gotta like occupy yourself and figure out something else to take your mind off of it. Hate it when that happens. Hate it when that happens. Let's leave. So we got this right here. Okay, we need aluminum. Aluminium. I don't even care what you call it. We just need it. There we go. So 6 more per period. That should allow us. So we got 12 from that galaxy right there. 12 from that solar system. How are we looking on this side? It looks like it's recovering a little bit. It's higher than it was the last time we looked at it, which is great. The only downside is that our blunt is missing. So unfortunately, it seems to have propped itself up by using our goods. Looks like we're producing those over here. We got robots being produced. Are any of our supplies going down? We need more souvenirs. It looks like we may run out of ice cream pretty shortly too. So I might actually throw that back into production. You can assign people to these if you really, really, really want it to be more efficient. You have people that like have this work speed bonus or the work dupe bonus. It makes them do things a little bit better and a little bit more efficiently. It's all up to you and what you want to do though. Frankly, I just kind of need to keep people training up so they can be ambassadors in later galaxies so that we can constantly be supplying ourselves with goodies. However, in order to do that, I need to put them back on away missions. I'd say that we go with... There's a tactical contract. This one right here seems like it'll be okay. I've got a level 5 strategist. And then I can send out a level 5... I got a level 4 engineer. Will that work? Okay, and then we also... I guess we can send another engineer. It's not going to work out super well, but it'll work for right now. Suppose I could put a doctor in on it. Just see how this whole thing goes. 54 credits to start the mission. That's okay, though. If they fail it, they still get a bunch of XP, so it's perfectly fine. The reason that I'm leveling these guys up, if you're unaware, is because they actually have to have a level that is equal to or greater than the system that they're going to be an ambassador in, which makes the game, you have like this little kind of like grind fest going on in the backgrounds. Not in a negative sense, but you're constantly sending these guys out to go and, like, I don't know, kill bugs and slimes for hours at a time so that they can level up while you do other stuff. Other buildings that we can construct right now, we have nothing that we really need to use at the moment. Basically, all of our needs are taken care of. However, the thing that we should try and get our hands on... Is this guy going to stay ahead on shirt production, or is that too much to ask? I kind of put this guy on shirt production because everything else was really, really well stocked, and so I figured we probably didn't need to produce any more of it. Like, for example, we could probably turn off soap production for right now and not think about it any longer. We could also probably feasibly... Do I have the star map counter for our mercantile zone? Let's see here. We have balloons, we have personal robots, we have souvenirs, we have fuel cells, map shelves, and spare parts shelves. Okay, so yeah, since we have the map shelf, I think we should probably, like, put that in somewhere. I don't know. This store looks a little bit unkempt. In all honesty, I don't like the way that it looks. I don't like the way that it looks. This store weirds me out. I would go and I'd be like, you only have 2 shelves? All you need are maps and fuel cells? I guess it's a simple society, and those are the only things that matter to them. But that won't stop me from raising an eyebrow in a judgmental way and being like, hey, what's up with your weird stores? I feel like you should carry more stuff. I grew up in the land of Costco. I grew up in the land of Walmart, where there are things just spreading as far as the eye can see for dirt cheap. And while they've got the dirt cheap down, because honestly, I'm not making that much money off this whole thing. They've got the dirt cheap down. The other half that they don't have down is going to be the quantities. So the map shelves we're all out of. Let's go ahead and have somebody jump into... Oh, we needed fibers. That's what it was. How do I produce fibers? Where are fibers hidden at? I should probably go take a look at this over here. So where do I get fibers from? Aside from my frosted mini wheats. So we have a hospital. We have a bistro. There's living 3. Factory 1. It's probably from one of these right here. It's more than likely from one of these machines that we've yet to install. Let's have a look through our installation, I guess, upgrades. So we have a replicator on this side. And we could put it right there. Does it even rotate? I guess it kind of does. We'll put in the replicator right there. These are very, very expensive. I assume they're expensive because it's like real life. Any type of industry like software or industry machinery is always really, really expensive. For example, when you're on YouTube, you've either got to buy like Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere, and that's like a major, major expenditure for you if you're on the internet like making videos, but you kind of have to do it. Alright, so on that side, got this thing. What does it do? None of the products manufactured here have been unlocked yet. Okay, well that was one of my concerns, but it's fine. I needed to build these anyways later on, so I'm just kind of like sliding them in right now and hoping that they don't notice. A medical workshop. That sounds pretty good. Let's put the medical workshop. I'm assuming that it faces like so since it's got the panel on it. And then the other one is a nuclear workshop for the advanced manufacture of consumer goods. Okay, where's the side that they interact with? Maybe it's that side right there. It looks like it's got a panel on the front of it. If they can't figure it out, I'll destroy it and I'll reinstall it and everything will work out. What can we do from right here? What does this thing do? No. So this doesn't produce anything because we haven't gotten there yet. Alright. The nuclear thing also does nothing. So how do I produce fibers? A very interesting situation right now. I don't suppose that you produce fibers. No, you don't produce fibers. Neither do you. Okay. So let's take a look at our technology list and figure out what we can take care of here. What is that? Let's see here. Oh, an advanced kitchen is what we've got. I don't think we have the means to make any of that stuff. We don't have the nices either. The means and the nices. If you got the means to make something happen, it just means you're a grumpy bastard, but you make things happen. That seems like it would work okay for me. I don't know what a hospital does for people either, but it seems like we've hit sort of this impasse in the gameplay anyways, where we need to level up in order to like catch up on the things that we need to do, but at the same time, I'm more into like the building half of the game, so I don't know. We'll go hospital 1 on this side. It's kind of expensive. Wow, that takes a lot of research points. Jesus. Okay. We also didn't unlock bar. I guess I'll start with that first. So now we can have like a cantina slash bar. So it'd be like... I want that really, really badly. If we don't have that music, I will scream. And I think that that's probably going to be hard on my lungs very shortly because George Lucas seems to be very, very protective over like the random things that are associated with Star Wars. I bought a bunch more Star Wars shirts at Walmart. Like the greatest thing to ever happen to my wardrobe are just those random nerd shirts that everyone owns that you get from Walmart for like $6. I love those things. They're the greatest. So we need to make ourselves a bar for drinks and fun. I don't know if that's for here. Let me take a look at my personnel list real fast and we'll see what they're... Ooh, a power bonus? Yeah, extra power on you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to being better equipped. I hope you enjoy it. We have a craving on this side for advanced soap. He doesn't even wait. He doesn't even wash himself with it. He just eats it. Mmm, delicious soap. He wants fine soup, antimatter cleansers, craves a fiction program. So how does then... I wish there was a training room too, so you didn't constantly have to like grind out these little levels on the side. A training room would be legit. Oh, they succeeded. Okay. Well, I thought they did anyways. This one needs diplomats. I think as far as I can remember, I have a lot of those. Or maybe I only have one of those. Never mind then. Are they on another mission? No, they're not on another mission? Well, damn. Oh, that one's a hard mission. Never mind. Let's not send them out on that. That's a bad idea. That's an idea that's going to get people clacked up. Okay, so on this side, we will go with lower level guys in this one. There it is. Keep them moving along. And how much do I have for other people? You got a level 3 right there. I could probably send the level 5s. Yeah, send these level 3s out. And that'll look real nice. That'll do okay. We got a level 5 doctor who's almost ready too, so that'll be pretty cool. So 82% chance of success right there. You've actually really got to overpower missions. From what I've seen so far, it's a lot better to send people out when they're higher level to lower level missions. Like you basically just got to have a really, really high level to make anything happen. Even the simplest mission requires quite a bit of XP. Alright, so we're diminishing slightly on our parts and our fuel cells, but by and large it seems to be okay. We got a big group of colonists or tourists coming in. I could put in another dock so that we could have even more come in, but I don't know if we can handle the demand right now. I really don't know if we can handle, because if I have to go full bore and get all of these things back to producing, for example, like fuel cells, parts, and some other things, we're going to run out of oil really, really quickly, and that's just what's going to happen. We're actually running out of aluminum too. So let's go back to the galaxy and see what we can find here. In Corel, we haven't swooped up any of the aluminum from there, so we'll do that right now. In Vining, we've got all of that. They don't get a whole lot of things done aside from little like 30-second videos in Vining. That's pretty much it. That is their major export, just people making funny faces on Vine. Let's see, we've got Karis, which we haven't taken over yet. Wait, how did I miss this entire galaxy right here? I didn't miss it, I guess, but I didn't, like, try either. Let's go to Karis and see if we can maybe unlock some of this aluminum. Yeah, that'll be... We'll hit this one and we'll hit the one next to it, and that'll be fine. That'll be the way that we'll shore up our aluminum shortage. Let's see here. Let's go fight ourselves some banditos. I do wish that there was a little bit more variety in the away missions. Everything from, you know, like random... I'm not going to say... Maybe they could have invasion missions where you've got to protect a node from being destroyed. Like, all fun stuff like that. Just things that I've been thinking about, because all of the missions are very, very similar, and I think that's really going to detract from their potential audience down the line. I do think the game has a lot of really, really pleasing things that comprise its gameplay, but by and large, a lot of the ones that you spend most of your time doing are a little bit grindy or a little bit repetitive. So hopefully they've got that on the docket to kind of like increase the mission variety and make it so that you're not constantly just on destruction missions, because, you know, sometimes it'd be fun to have like little text adventures and things when you go off to shore. It'd also help with sales, because as of right now I can see people really, really liking the building half of the game, but then the exploration, destruction of thine enemies half of the game, or the away mission half of the game leaves a bit to be desired, at least in my opinion. That's not to say the game is bad at all. I find the game to be very, very enjoyable. However, the fact that it is a little bit repetitive makes it kind of like scary to LP from time to time, where I'm going to blow all these things up. Yep, there it is right there. We got to level up. I apologize, random fauna, but... you know, you're going to have to die for the Commonwealth. It just has to happen. These icebergs are really, really strange looking. These big piles of ice. They look like they were blown into position, like there's some guy running around with an ice machine just like forming them. You know how they use that flocking stuff for trees, like Christmas trees. That's kind of that's how I imagine the machine being that they make that out of. I had a flocked Christmas tree one time when I was a kid. My mom wanted one because she never had one before, and so we had a flocked Christmas tree. It was pretty cool. We were worried that it'd be toxic for the cats, but the cats didn't bother it. Apparently it tasted bad or something. That's the big problem with cats, is that, oh, we've already... That's it? That's the entire planet? Oh, that was easy peasy. Okay. Let's bounce on out then. I would additionally like to hit Pliku. We'll hit Neslian. Ooh, actually, yeah, we have got a lot of stuff to go right now. So we'll hit all of these before the end of the episode. I'll basically just rush my way through them for right now. And that should work out pretty well. My nose just clogged itself randomly. You know what I hate? Is when you're laying down in bed and like one of your nostrils is clogged and then you roll to the other side and it unclogs for a second, but then the other nostril clogs up. That's the most obnoxious thing on earth. That's like one of those tiny little things that happens when you're sick that's just like, meh. It's not happening to me right now, but that my nose randomly clogging itself sort of like reminded me of that. I hate being sick. I really do. I really, really sincerely. I don't think there's anybody who's like, yay, I'm sick though. I mean, that seems like a kind of a no-brainer. Like, everybody hates being sick. Why would you even bring it up in a conversation, Splattercat? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe people like to be like slightly sick so that they can call in sick for work and then just kind of like chill out for the day. So they're minorly uncomfortable. But at the same time, they kind of get a day off for it. I had to come into work one time when I think I didn't have pneumonia, but I was pretty much on the edge of it. I lost my voice. I was hacking up a lung. And I tried to call in sick, and my boss was like, yeah, that's just not going to happen. I was like, you realize like I'm super contagious right now, right? I'm actually really, really sick. Like, I can barely... You can hear my voice on the phone right now. I'm like whispering because I've lost my voice, and I can't... He didn't seem to... He was like, no, we need you in, like, right now. You have to come into work. If you don't come into work, I'm going to give you a write-up. And I was like, oh man, demerits? That's lame. I hate it when jobs use a demerit system like preschool does. I find it to be a little bit demeaning. Not a little bit demeaning, a lot of bit demeaning. I'm going to let some of these mods pile up. But yeah, I've had a couple jobs where they use like a demerit system. They have like a board where you get like tallies and shit. I'd be like, the last time that this was done to me where my personal performance in life was judged by a demerit system with like little colored tallies was like in kindergarten. I remember you had all kinds of demerits. They were colored. I remember they were like, so eventually, like what would happen is on the first day of school, it would be our art project. And little did we know that our art project would be turned into like a weaponized tool of teaching against us. So on the first day of school, you would have this art project where you've got like construction paper and you have to cut colored strips in like 2 inches by like 4 inches. And then like the leftovers, you would use that for your art project. But we didn't know that our teacher was going to keep the strips that we had cut out in order to make the shape for the art. So like the rectagonal strips needed to be removed so that you would have a smaller piece of paper for the art project. And the teacher told us to hold on to the rectagonal strips. Those strips were then used. There was like a pocket on the wall for each person. So for each child, there was a pocket on the wall that you would put these little slivers of paper in. And the demerits and the tallies were for like different like sins you had committed. Because I went to religious school. You know, like in the Bully, or in Bully, how they have the outfits and everything? That was pretty much my high school and my younger school experience. We had to wear the outfits with, like, the vests and everything else, and the collars and all that stuff. It sucked. It sucked, and it was awful. But anyways, back to the story at hand. Let's go ahead and shoot this guy right here. There we go. And then I kind of got kicked out. And after that point, I went to public school. But anyways, back to the story at hand. Back to the story at hand. Or the story at mouth. I've always wondered how a story can be at hand unless it's written in a book. A story, actually, that's kind of like the story at eye. The story at hand kind of like never really applies, I guess. Will you stop moving and allow me to shoot you in the face? Thank you. I would appreciate it greatly. I will visit this planet again for more loot and profit. And anyways, they would put, essentially, every kid had their name on this big board on the wall, and under every name there was a pocket. And if you did a good thing, like some of the demerits were good, they weren't actually demerits. They were called, what did they call them? They were called tallies, I think. I think they were called tallies if they were positive, and they were called demerits if they were bad. And so they were color-coded by whatever sin or, like, nice thing you had done. So if you had gotten angry and, like, thrown something, you would get, like, a red demerit, because that meant that you had gotten angry. Or if you had, like, I don't know, you couldn't stop talking, or you, like, annoyed the teacher, I think you got, like, a brown demerit or something like that. And they were all color-coded, and they all had, like, a point value. And this all seems, like, way too... This seems way too complicated for a kindergartner now that I think about it. But anyways... That's how they did it when I was in school. And if you did something good, they gave you like a gold demerit or like a silver demerit or I'm sorry, a silver tally. And then you could cash those in like at the end of every week on Friday. There was like a little prize bin where you could like cash in your good tallies. But your bad tallies counted as negatives and you had to... I don't remember what you had to do to get rid of your bad tallies. You had to do something with your demerits. I don't recall though. I'm trying to think of... I think you had to do timeouts or something like that. Like it was a timeout. It was a self-inflicted timeout though, as I recall. Maybe? Or maybe it was just when you got 3 of them of any color, you got like, you lost your recess or something like that and you had to stand with your head against the wall. I remember that being a punishment when I was a little kid. It was actually the worst punishment ever. They'd be like, you gotta go stand with your head against the wall, and you had to go for the entire recess. You had to sit there with your head against the wall. It was, it sucked. You'd have like a big red circle on your forehead from the wall by the time recess got done, like 25 minutes later. You would have a mark of shame. It was your mark of Cain for the remainder of the night, or the remainder of the day. Hilarious stuff. Hilarious. I don't even think it like taught the kids anything either. You're just kind of like, okay. So you're saying I get to be bored for 25 minutes as a punishment, but I'm really not making the connection between the crime and the punishment anyways. So this whole thing is kind of pointless if I don't understand what follows what, right? I just kind of feel like I got in trouble and now this thing is happening. I don't know. I was always getting into trouble in school. I was definitely a troublemaker kid. Made my mama cry. We can go to Tursac and get one more oil, but frankly, I don't know what the good call is right now. Is this place, we can only get level 1 strategists, huh? That's a little bit weak. It's a little bit weak. Oh, their eye hasn't been punched out. Well, in a way it has. They've got like a optical assistance unit. Alright. I would only have that right there if it came with utilities. If it came with utilities like X-ray vision, maybe a little laser emitter that, so I could run the cat around the room and torture the cat with my eyeball. I guess I'll hire you guys. I guess. Oh, they were all female, weren't they? I guess I'll hire you ladies. I suppose. I think that on this side we should probably, it looks like our parts and our fuel cells are partially diminishing, so I'll probably put production back up on this side for fuel cells, get that going, call it an infinite production queue. On this side we'll call, yeah, let's call off the robots and we'll get back to making parts, and once these get back, the parts and the fuel cells get back up to like 200 maybe, I think we'll feel a little bit better about the way that we are appropriating and creating things out, or appropriating resources and creating things from them. There, I could finish that sentence. I knew I could finish it somehow. I just wasn't sure how I was going to get to the end of the line. Got 4 research points right here, but we can't unlock anything. That means we got one more planet to do. That seems alright. Let's go do one more planet. I suppose we'll do, what planet has stuff that we need? Tursac, basically. All these other planets are kind of useless. Oh, they hit level 7. Good, 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 good. That's actually really, really good, because that means they get a health regeneration bonus now. That means everybody's just going to be regenerating health as much as they want. As much as they please, and thank you. As much as they thank you? That doesn't sound as good. Let's go up here. You got to mind your P's and Q's. I don't know. I'm like one of those people, I still call like ladies, like if there's somebody that I'm talking to and she's like, if it's a female and she's older than me, I call her ma'am. Because my family is Southern, and so I was just like raised that way. Like, sometimes people look at me funny when I do it. I'm like, I don't know. I got smacked upside the head if I didn't call somebody that was older than me sir or ma'am. That was just like mom was upside your head. Real quick. Real quick. The worst thing, everybody's mom had like a different way of getting them in line, whether it was like a ruler or like a wood spoon. My mom would grab your ear. Be like, ah! She would grab your ear. It was just the worst. I hated it so much. It's funny in retrospect, but not so funny when it was happening. You'd be like, ah, my ear! Ah! Alright, let's go ahead and murder some adorable little animals. For their peas. We're raiding this planet so that we can steal people's peas. Worst mission ever. I hate peas. Peas are disgusting. There's actually not a whole lot of vegetables that I do. I like onions. Onions are good. I love onions. That's about it, though. I'm not a big vegetable fan. The greenery doesn't do it for me. I love bell peppers. I love peppers of any color. Orange, yellow, red, green. Doesn't really matter for me. The garden planet is now available for building in the collectible station menu. Oh, the golden planet. Okay, I thought it said the garden planet for some reason because I'm bad at reading and I'm illiterate. Level 7, there it is. Actually, this planet, what you want to do is you want to find a planet that provides you with a lot of oils, and then if you're having trouble keeping up with your production, you can just do the planet over and over and over again, and before the planet gets tired of that whole process. Eventually, after you complete the missions, you should get like 60 oils every time you complete the mission. You do it 4 or 5 times, and you should have enough oil for your production to last a good, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours. If you got, like, for us, we're having really, really bad luck getting oil planets, so it is what it is. Sometimes you don't get what you want, and that's just the way life works. But for right now, I would like a bit more oil. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the next episode of the Spatials. I look forward to seeing you all later. I really want to pet that animal right there. It is adorable as hell. I want to put that thing on my couch and just listen to it make whatever noise it makes. I want to rub its tummy. I want to rub its tummy and feed it treats because it did nothing at all. My name is Splattercat. I'll see you all later. How do you, everybody?